What's up, guys? It's Vic, Ninja Closer. I'm here with another awesome closer, Alvaro. And I think this guy's got a really interesting story that a lot of people could benefit from. So, Alvaro, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, can you kind of give us a little bit of background into who you are and where you come from?
Yeah, man. So I am. So basically, I'm a Mexican guy living in Toronto, Canada. Okay, and I came here to study music. Actually, I'm an opera singer and a pianist, and so that's kind of my background.
Awesome. So, from opera to closing, how did that happen?
Yeah, man. So that's actually quite interesting because like a lot of people in the music world, like especially with the pandemic and everything going on, like uh, we kind of had to jump from performing to kind of like more teaching, right? And so I started teaching like a couple of years ago, but with the pandemic I started teaching more. But then I started realizing that I was literally trading my time for money, kind of thing,
Mm,
and it got to a point where if I wanted to make more money I will have to, you know kind of like work two times more. So that's kind of where I started to look for different ways to kind of like make money is without having to trade all this time so that I could get that.
right.
And that's how I ended up in this industry, actually.
Okay. So, how long have you been in the industry?
Oof, I I'm pretty new, actually, believe it or not. So I started with a program, the IBC program,
Hmm.
um, and so that's the one that I took in what, September, around
Okay.
September, October, yeah. And but that's it. Like that's all I knew at the time. I didn't even know this existed at all. And but then I took the training and I was kind of like just there, trying to figure things out still.
Yeah. And so you just took the inbound closer accelerator?
Yeah, I took the certification as well.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and I went through those trainings and everything. But as I mentioned, right, like you take these trainings, but you get some information. But at the end of the day, if you don't have somebody to work with, right, it doesn't really matter how good you are or how good you become and things like that. Like, because I didn't know anything about anything, I just knew that there was this opportunity, right? The sales, because I never heard of sales in my life.
Hmm.
So I just knew about that, and that's it. So I had all this information, but I didn't know how to find people to like to close for, basically.
So tell me about the certification program. How different is that than the accelerator?
I guess the certification, what it does is gives you like a more in-depth knowledge kind of thing. Um, and because it's been a while since I since I
Right.
checked those, so that's at least for what I remember. That's kind of like the main thing is like more in-depth knowledge. But at the end of the day, it's all videos,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So there is like the Facebook group and the videos, and that's pretty much it. So you have to kind of like make the most out of the videos,
And I know
kind of thing.
that I didn't take the certification, but they said at the end of the certification there was a group that they would put you in that had a bunch of opportunities. Did you find a lot of opportunities in that group?
To be totally honest with you, I got super frustrated because I actually did it for like a month and something, and I was doing role plays and stuff. But then I was like, where am I going? You know what I mean? Because I already wasted like a month and a half of my life in a way, right? And I didn't have any direction. Like I didn't know how to go about anything. So I was like, why should I even bother? Um, Kind of like do the certification and all that stuff. And so I started to, like try to find ways to get somebody to close for. So I started to just go into random Facebook groups and stuff.
Okay. And so is that kind of how you found the high ticket closer current job opportunities group?
Yeah, that's actually it's very very interesting because I believe I talked to Heather once,
Okay.
um, and I believe she mentioned it to me, and that's how I kind of like applied for to like request access, right? And and then I saw all these things, you know, like there was a lot of information that I have never heard before, like focusing more about how to go about finding a client, because all I thought was like you had to go and kind of like introduce yourself to the business owner or something like that. So it's kind of like
Right.
more like a begging type of thing. It's like, hey, you should hire me because I'm so good, blah 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 blah. So those were my attempts, man. Like, believe it or not, I was DMing people left and right with videos
Wow.
of myself, introducing myself. You know, it was crazy. I just don't know why I did that, but that's one of the things that I did actually.
So when did you meet JD?
Man, so this was very funny, right? Because in the Facebook group, right, they had all these, you know, these posts. Like JD had tons of posts, and every time I read posts of him, I was like, oh, this is different, you know. This is, I never tried this before. And so that kind of got me interested. And then what I did is I started to research all his messages from all the previous, you know, months and years or whatever in the group. And I was trying to learn and learn more. And I was like, so who's this guy? Like, I need to talk to him. And then I believe I saw a post by Hunter or something. And then I start talking with Hunter, and I said, dude, how do I talk with JD, man? Like,
Yeah.
I want to know, like, because he seems to have like so many different things to share, and I want to learn all of these things. And that's you know what he told me, you know, like, well, I guess if you want to talk, why don't you just message him? Like, well, I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess I'm afraid or something. See, that's the things. I had some limiting beliefs right there.
Right. Right.
So actually, because of Hunter, he encouraged me to actually message him.
Yeah. I love
And
that guy. Hunter's such a good dude.
oh man, he's like super nice. And no, so this is the thing with Hunter, right? Like, he's such a nice dude, but he's very real as well,
100%.
right? Like, he's not like just for you making you feel good. You know, he actually tells you what it is. Like, what the heck do you want? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I want to, you know, make more money. I want to learn how this thing works because I don't know anything
Then
basically.
go
Like, I
get it.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, go get it. So that's exactly how the conversation with JD started. I messaged him, and man, I was so surprised. Like, because I thought this guy was like, I don't know, he was gonna send me to his assistant or something like that.
Thought he was
No,
untouchable.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly how I felt. You know, I thought that was like that, right? Because he had, like, everybody was talking about JD,
Hmm.
and he was like this like mythical figure, you know. And so yeah, I messaged him, man, and I was like, hey JD, like, I heard good things. I would love to, yeah, I don't know, like, ask you a couple of questions. And he was so humble, man.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
so, like, yeah, man, like, what's going on? Like, I'm here. Like, what's up? And from then on, man, like, we talk on Zoom after that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's awesome. So you found JD, you found
Yep.
the group, you found JD, you got the information from him, and then he starts the mastermind and you decide to join
Right.
the mastermind.
100%, man. 100%. Because, like, so he was telling me, like, how what he had, right? And at that time, it was kind of like, I forgot the name. It's like, he was working with a few people, not a
Hmm.
lot of people, right?
Doing the learn and earn
And
sessions.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And I was like, dude, like, how do I do this? You know, like, because when we talk, and the actually, funny enough, he offered me so much value in that strategy session that I was like, dude, like, where do I deposit the money, man? Like,
Yeah.
like
It
like
wasn't
that.
even a sale. It was just
It
like,
wasn't even a sale, man. Like,
yeah.
we were like for like an hour or something, and I was like, so wait, so where do I deposit the money, man? What's going on here? I was like, oh yeah, sure, yeah. So, but but yeah, that's one of the things that I realized, that dude was like really trying to help me versus, you know, like, getting rush me to, okay, so here, this is how much, you know.
Yeah.
Like, so that's one of the reasons why I joined the mastermind, because I was like just shocked with the amount of value that I was getting.
Right. So tell me how the mastermind changed things for you, because you said you were going to cold DMing people, just kind of like, hey, this is me. This is a video of me. I want to work for you. Give me a job. And then now you're working for one of the top marketers in the business and
Yeah.
you're closing in on what is it, 10K months? So
Yeah.
how did that change for you?
Oh man, it was crazy because like at the beginning, you know, like I had a lot of things that I needed to work through, right? Because like my mindset was one of those things, and also my relationship with money, right?
Mm,
Like I come from a background where we are, you know, always holding into money, kind of like the more we hold, the more we save, but then we don't make any money. So
yeah.
then we are saving more money. It's like, it's crazy. And so that's one of the things that I realized is like, I need to let go, right? Of the things if I want to get better. And one of the things that I learned in the mastermind was the actually strategies to
Yeah.
how to approach these people, you know, because I didn't know that. That was one of the biggest things for me. Like I didn't know how to approach people, how to get noticed
Yeah.
by someone, you know, even. Um, and so I think having the confidence that there is like a strategy behind that, that's
Right.
what that's one of the things that the mastermind gave me. Plus, dude, like there is I think what 5 calls a week.
Yeah, about 4 to 6, and it's getting more and more as we go. Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. You
Yeah.
know, like I mean, if something doesn't work today, you can go and ask tomorrow. You know,
Exactly.
like it is just insane. Like I mean, I just don't see how everybody can join and not get results. Like literally every single day there is somebody there like live, like not even like a freaking video,
Yeah.
right? So that's one of the things, right? Like whenever I was struggling, you know, because everybody struggles, right?
Right. We
But
all struggle.
is what you do about the struggles that makes the difference, right? So if you have a struggle and you have somebody such as JD, right, there for you who has like been there, done that, and overcome that, like those struggles, you know, they save you so much time.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Like, because it was crazy, man. Like, I joined the mastermind at the end of November, beginning of December, okay?
Okay.
And by the 15th day, I already got my first opportunity.
Nice.
Like 15 days took me to get my first opportunity, and it wasn't a bad company, by the way. It was a
Yeah.
good company as well, and they had, you know, training and all of that stuff, and that's how I got it. Like using some of the strategies that I learned in the
Right.
mastermind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the same opportunity you're with now?
No, that's a different one.
Okay.
So actually, I was refining also, refining my strategies, like some of the things that I learned and how to put it together. And I started to just offer value, man.
Hmm.
Like learning how to offer value to people that I kind of like was networking stuff. Because networking for me was non-existent
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
so so yeah, it just happened that I offer value to the right person, and actually by the end of January, that's how it happened that I offer value to the right person, and that person happened to be connected with one of the biggest marketing companies, and they were scaling up their team, and I was in her head. So right, that
Wow.
she was thinking about me because I offer her value. So
Yeah.
when that opportunity came, she's like, "Oh yeah, I think I have the guy for you." And just think about this. I think she told me there was like I don't know how many applications. Like could be like 1,000 or 100. I don't know, to be honest. It was a lot of applications, and she literally took my application out and sent it to the hiring person. Like literally,
Wow.
like out of all of people.
I want to park here for a second, because you're hitting the nail on the head, and it's just like the point of networking is to provide that value, because you never know who along the line could help you out and give you an opportunity like what you got. All you did was serve someone and give them value. And because of that, they were entitled to then repay you, and repay you exponentially more than what you probably offered to them. And because of your networking ability and because you learn to network appropriately, man, that is crazy. Now You're at one
Yep.
of the top marketing companies in the industry. You're having 8 to 10K months and you're only scaling from there. Like that's insane, dude.
It is insane, man. Like especially like coming from my background, like I used to teach a lot, a lot of lessons, and I used to make what like 5K, and that would take me like 40, 45 hours a week,
Yeah.
like 5 to 6K, because also it depends, right? Because if they cancel the lesson, then you don't get paid,
Right.
right? And now you see those, like how everything can change so fast, because like I started in the mastermind in December, right? In At the end of January, I got my opportunity where I am now, and by March I was already making like 8K a month, working like 25 hours a week.
That's
So
beautiful.
it was like just insane, man. Like just insane how fast things can go in this industry as well.
And talk about how it changed your life because I have a little bit of musician background myself and I know that it's a gig opportunity. It's a gig life. So you go from gig to gig to gig to gig just to pay your rent. And then if you have to teach on top of that, you're
Right.
working constantly. And a lot of
So
that
hard.
work
Yeah.
you're not getting paid for. So now you get the chance to work 25 hours a week and then do what you love to do and do it with more freedom and more ability to take opportunities because you're not worried about the money coming in.
Dude, that I think that what you said there is like is very important, because like one of the things that we when we work for somebody else, or even when you work for yourself, like teaching stuff, right? Like you have this schedule, right? And that schedule is kind of fixed, so you cannot move anything,
Yeah.
right? Here you actually can create your own schedule, right? Like you make your own hours, and let's say for whatever reason something happens, you can just rebook them another time, so that way you are not like all saturated all the time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I started seeing, like, oh my god, there is so many things that I haven't even done.
So
So,
you get the job, you get the opportunity. Do you still use the mastermind? Do you still use the things you learned?
dude, it's like I think this journey, and it's like I don't think there is a stopping to learning, right?
Yeah.
And you will see me still in the Q&As. I still come
Yeah.
to the Q&As of the mastermind, because there is always something, right? Like there is something that, oh, I didn't approach this, or oh, I didn't do this, and what do you think of this? And having somebody like JD there,
Yeah.
right? Because also, as you know, like a performance based activity has its ups and downs, and also like has the psychological part of it. So having, knowing that you can have these calls,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like all there for you anytime, um, is just super reassuring. And also like that way keeps me, like getting better even.
You mentioned your mindset was an issue in the beginning. What
Yep.
would you say to people who had that same mindset now and are on the fence about getting help?
Oh man, like, listen, I just turned 30, like, and I let, like, now that I see the things from this perspective that I have now, I literally lost 5 years of my life,
Yeah.
you know, and this is the thing: if you don't make decisions from the perspective of the person that you want to be, right,
Dude.
you will never can see the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like the same thing as persons, like somebody trying to lose weight, right? Like if you don't make decisions like a fit person, you will always be a fat person,
Yep.
right? It's the
100%.
same thing.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to really think about where you want to be, and think about the steps that you need to take to be where you want to be.
What would you say to
And
someone who's on the fence about joining our mastermind?
oh, dude, it's like a no-brainer. Like especially if you want to really like be serious in this industry, you know, like if you want to learn the industry in and out and have constant support, because this is something extremely important, support,
Yeah.
right? And that's something that there is a lot of stuff out there, but not, I don't see that type of support. Is very rare.
Yeah.
So I would suggest, you know, like think where you want to be, and the mastermind is the place for you, especially like if you want to be the best as fast as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm like in love with this conversation, dude. I'm so happy for you. Like
Thank you, man.
I've watched you go through this. I've watched like your journey. I've seen your ups and downs, and I'm so proud of you. And like I'm so excited to know you and to know that, you know, this is working. You know, and to see it working in somebody
Yeah,
who comes from where you come from, I can kind of understand, you know, kind of a little bit of your background to see where you are now. It's an amazing thing, and I love it. And I thank you so
appreciate it, man.
much for taking the time to meet with me and to have this conversation. I think it's going to be impactful to a lot of people. But dude, we got to do this again.
Oh, 100%, man. Just let me know and we'll schedule it again.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, look, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. See you later, man.
Thank you, man.